All right, hi, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're back tonight. We're playing some We're in Danger, which is a game I've been working on. I've been making for a while. We're putting it up on BackerKit in a few months if you're interested in following that. But for tonight, we're going to play around with it because we're testing out a new genre kit. So We're in Danger is a horror game, a disaster game. So it's about any kind of game in which people might not make it out, and it's more cinematic, one-shot driven. In this one, we're going to test out tonight is some corruption mechanics, and we're gonna play like maybe the evil PC type of game when normally you guys are the good ones, and we're trying to, save yourselves and stuff. Now you're playing bad people, but in your defense, you're bad because there is some kind of old one evil entity that's kind of screwing with you. So that's what this one's going to be. So the premise is that you guys are all hospitality workers, and you are working at some kind of wilderness retreat, like up in the pines somewhere. And this weekend, your retreat is going to be, you're going to be hosting a corporate team building group. And your entity that you answer to is somewhere on the grounds. Like you actually, like this is big gestating hideous entity somewhere on the grounds of your area, and you need to feed it. You need to give it some stuff. So this is a little Shop of Horrors. If you've ever seen Little Shop of Horrors, little inspiration there. Definitely a little Call of Cthulhu action going on as well. And that's what this one's about. So anyhow, why don't we do a quick roundtable for your playing? Melissa, who are you playing? Tell us a little bit about your character.
So my character's name is Bonnie. She is the director of catering here. Her looks are I described it as severe. So she has like fake eyelashes, fake nails, like lots of makeup. And when she is sort of front of house, she is smiley and all of the things. And when she is back in the kitchen, she is an awful human being. So her appropriate item is a walkie-talkie. Her inappropriate item are sharp fake nails that she basically like comes up behind staff and pinches them when they are doing wrong things. And she's quite abusive. And her expertise is browbeating.
Fantastic. Melissa is actually describing herself and how she works as a supervisor at her job. I have heard stories. I've had to go occasionally. Melissa's made me go to like a dinner for like her various companies. And when she's not at the table, people come up and they tell me stories about Melissa, and it's pretty straightforward.
Play yourself. Easiest thing to do.
Easy to remember. Long. Who are you playing, man?
I'll be playing Arthur. He's the yoga instructor, specifically with the goats. So the goat yoga instructor. Hospitality 1, fitness 2, depravity 3. I've got an item goat. My little goat named Jerry.
Goat is named Jerry. What's your character's name again?
Arthur.
Okay, and your goat's name is Jerry.
Looks-wise, I've got a goatee. I wear heavy bagging clothing. Nature-wise, pretty easygoing. Welcoming.
Okay. Oh my goodness, this is great. I like the goatee too. That's a nice little touch. Okay. All right. Awesome. And then finally, Jeremy, who are you playing?
Oh, hey there, I'm Mason. I'm the licensed massage therapist and chiropractor here. I'm just a big old himbo who just happens to be pleasantly cruel, I like to carry around my heating stones because you never know when somebody's going to need to get a little bit of a burn on, and also keep a whip on me for my inappropriate item because I do satisfy in multiple ways, and I specialize in joint manipulation.
And what kind of manipulation? Did you say joint manipulation?
Oh, yeah, I'm a chiropractor,
Okay. Oh, that kind of joint. My bad. I was thinking something.
Oh, no, I don't partake of that. No way.
Okay.
My body's a temple,
Except for the whip marks.
Oh, no, I do the whipping because I like to make people feel pain. That's why I became a chiropractor, actually.
You know what? It makes a perfect picture.
I get to hurt people, and they like when I do it. So it's just, if you do what you love, you never really work a day in your life.
That's great. Love it.
All right. So you all get. Do you guys want to come up with a name for your your series of. So I like to picture it as like a series of cottages and rental cabins, like up in the pines somewhere, and maybe they're rented out for weddings or just bachelor parties. But in this case, it's gonna be rented out by a corporation. I want to come up with a name for it. There is a mechanism for this. I think I put in the actual rules, or if you guys have an idea of what it could be. If not, if nobody has a good idea, Jeremy, give me a D6.
Oh, okay. So my knee jerk was going to be like Verdant Grove Retreat, but let's go with the D6 and I got a 3.
Okay, pick a number.
5.
Okay, Long, give me a D6.
2.
Okay, that's an animal name. So give me an animal name.
Goat.
Okay, so it's the Goat 5 Lodges. That's what we're gonna call it. Goat 5 goat, or I don't know.
5 goat lodges.
5 goats.
Yeah.
The 5 goat lodges. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Because there's 5 cottages.
Okay. Yeah, we can do it that way for sure. Okay. So yeah, let's dive in. What I actually should say, one other thing I'm testing is I'm testing a little mystery board kind of mechanic for the GM to use. I want to have all these little optional tools for GMs that like to tinker and play. And so this is as much as this is a horror game right now, like that we're going to do in this session. It's also going to be a little bit of a mystery session because the entity to which the 3 of them are all kind of enthralled wants them to feed it. So that means finding, the evilest and smarmiest people that are coming to stay at the 5 goat lodges and feed that specific person to this entity, or find various monstrous creatures that might be roaming the mutated wilds around 5 goat lodges. And so some of this is going to be about our not heroes, our anti-heroes, actually doing a little investigation to figure out who is the right person to feed. Because if you feed the wrong thing, your entity is not going to be very, very happy at all. Okay, so let's how do we want to open this up? Let's open this up with maybe a shift back and forth between 2 different scenes. One scene, we see a thick forest, like this overhead shot, one of those drone shots of this thick forest. And we see this winding road cutting through this dark, like the dark green of the pines themselves. And we see like a caravan of maybe 3 big black suburban H2 Hummer kind of things, like the most gas guzzling types of high-end SUVs you can possibly imagine. And we see them moving at probably far too fast a pace than they should be on these roads. And then we cut back and we see a different scene as we see Bonnie and Arthur and Jeremy. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Mason.
And Mason, we see all of you standing, and you have this maybe almost kind of dull looks on your faces. And we're looking at your faces, and all 3 of you are staring in the same direction. We can't see what you're looking at, but we can kind of hear this like pulsating and this gestating that is happening. This that's like behind the camera as we look at you, and all 3 of you are almost kind of swaying in this daze. Where do you think on the lodge your entity kind of has nested? Do you think it's like beneath one of the cabins? Do you think it's like out in the wilderness somewhere? Where do you think the three of you tend to this thing?
Is this maybe one of those places where like there are some caves that have like hot springs in them?
I think yes, for sure. We can put this in a hot spring cave. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So we see not just all of you, but we see maybe beads of sweat starting to come down. Behind you, we can see some of these springs shooting up bits of steam. And all 3 of you are staring at this creature, and your eyes are opening wide. Is anyone wearing glasses? Does anyone have like glasses on?
Sure.
Yes.
I'll say I do.
Okay, so we'll say Bonnie and Mason, both of you have glasses on. And like we have this very tiny but blurry reflection of whatever it is that you all are looking at. But the only thing that really appears recognizable in the reflection are like these bright eyes, like with these strange and disparate irises, some horizontal, some vertical, some just like this milky, curdled yellow. And we never quite hear anything other than that regurgitation. And then we cut back and we see the same SUVs driving, and then they make a turn off. And now they're on this bumpy, rocky road that's going up. As we're panning out, we see all the cottages that are dotted along this forested hillside. Then we're back to you all. And you are like now slowly retreating out of this cave. And back and forth we go between the three of you, moving in this numb, mindless procession, the procession of the SUVs, until those two parties intersect outside of the main cabin. We see a big wooden sign. We see 5 goat heads, all of different types with horns, and some of them slightly painted different colors. And we see a group of people standing there, others that are there to wait to greet the guests, as this is a special weekend. It's a Friday afternoon. You have these people until Sunday. And as you arrive, some of you maybe who are a little bit lower on the totem pole in terms of like the level of influence here at the five goat lodges are maybe given dirty looks. Because it's not just any company coming out here. It's a very, very influential company. It's a well-known Fortune 500 big time like investment firm. We're gonna call it Charles Schwab. Like it's an investment company.
Nice.
This is a good job. Sorry, I made myself laugh. And the doors of these SUVs open up, and we see a group of people start filing out. And there's the guy kind of leading the way. He's got his phone out still, and he's desperately like typing on it. He's wearing all black, and he has a scarf, this colorful scarf that just is thrown back casually. His hair has been done so it's almost on a slant. He wasn't driving. But you all would recognize him, as you all were given little like packets to prepare, so you know how to properly serve these people. This is Chance Burlington II. He is the CEO, and you can see also getting out of this is a woman who is probably in her 50s, tall, slender, blonde hair, but you're fairly certain it's not really blonde. It's clearly dyed. And she is dressed in this big, bright red kind of jumpsuit, essentially. This is the COO. This is Whitney Cabot. And then finally, also getting out of this SUV, you see this short, stocky man with a overly groomed beard that is black and white and almost looks skunk-like. As you can tell, he's probably in his 50s. This is Roosevelt Biddle, and he is the CFO. And then a bunch of other people get out of the other SUVs, but they're not important. They're middle management, and they're lower on the totem pole, and so you don't really actually have any kind of information on them. You only know the C-level suite. And they all start wandering up. Do any of you, like Melissa, you said you were a director of catering?
Yes.
We know that Arthur is the yoga instructor, and then what was Mason again?
He's the licensed massage therapist and chiropractor.
Okay. All right. So you hear your manager, whoever the owner is like shaking hands and, you know, saying things along the lines of, "My staff is here to service you for whatever you need, whether it's a walk in the pines, whether it's a special menu item or a request." Anything you could possibly imagine. We have everything set up for you. We're going to be doing a welcome dinner tonight over in cabin 4. Cabins 1, 2, and 3 have been assigned for you, of course. And is there and let me introduce some of my staff. The food you will be eating will be prepared by my director of catering, Bonnie. What's your last name?
Palmer.
Bonnie Palmer here. Bonnie Palmer
hello. Very nice to meet you. I've had such a wonderful time making your menu for this weekend. You are just going to love it. Taken all of your favorites that you told us ahead of time, and she's going to kind of run through. She has hit the CEO's favorite and the COO's favorite and the CFO's favorite, and it's going to be, and all of your dietary restrictions and allergies were also taken into account, and it's going to be a delicious weekend.
Do you have swordfish? I've been really having, been really fresh. Do you have it fresh here?
Oh, swordfish. I don't think that was in the questionnaire that we sent along, but of course, where our motto is,
my assistant
we get
now.
To
We'll
a yes.
fly some in.
So,
we'll have it there tomorrow.
Oh, well, that is, yes, we absolutely have an expert in the preparation of any fish. We have our pescatarian expert on staff, and so this will be lovely.
You are using so many words. Talk less. Efficiency is key. It's a tip for you. Which one of these is mine? And like the manager's like, well, we were told, sir, that you all were going to be sharing. That you and your fellow sea level, you're in cabin 1, and then no. I get my own, and then everybody else, and then they kind of keep going. Do either of the two at the bottom, Arthur and Mason, do either of you introduce yourselves or kind of go shake a hand or do anything at all in this moment?
Of course. You can call me Arthur. I'll take care of any of your needs here for your remaining stay.
Do you have is Jerry here with you, presumably?
Yes, he's always with me, my sidekick.
And so you see Whitney, the COO, is standing there. Oh, we were told there weren't going to be live animals. Does he have his shots? That is the ugliest dog I've ever seen.
No, ma'am, this is a goat. We're called the Goat 5 Lodges. Of course, this goat's all about the property.
You have more of these on the property?
Of course, not where you'll be staying and living. They're out in our farm area.
And they can just wander around?
Well, we can cage them in a fence, of course, if that's...
Do we eat them? Is that...
No. We do not. They are I am sure you've experienced goat yoga. Arthur is the best practitioner of goat yoga.
Of course, every morning. Come on out. You can do yoga with the goats.
But why would we want to do yoga with such hideous creatures?
Oh,
don't they have ticks or something?
You haven't heard of goat yoga. Oh, it must not have reached your area of the country, but it is quite the thing that is happening at corporate retreats these days. It's shame you haven't heard of it yet.
You know, man.
She's like looking around.
Yeah, down at my table next to the sauna, we don't let the goats in there. So if you want to know you're in good hands, you come see me and get yourself a good massage, and I'll serve you any way you need.
Oh, very good. Thank you. At least there's somebody here who understands wellness. Yes, sauna, massage, absolutely. Sign me up.
Absolutely. You're going to be my #1 customer.
And, oh, wait, do you do the massages?
Of course, ma'am.
Don't you have like an attractive cabana boy or something? Or girl?
Oh, well, I can find somebody else if you like. And he'll kind kind of like a little put off because he thinks of himself as a bit of a himbo. So
Right. It's like, I am the attractive guy that is available to give massages.
So
and then
Mason will remember that.
Yes.
And then Roosevelt Biddle will come up, and you can see he's just kind of taking stock of the place a little bit. And like, I would imagine, you guys can correct me on this, the Five Goat Lodge is rustic feel. There's goats all over the place, right? Fairly rustic aesthetic. Got like log cabins and such. And so he comes up and he says, we're paying a lot of money for this. I certainly hope the interior of these places is much more aligned with what we saw online. This exterior is, well, it leaves much to be desired. I expect we'll have some sort of discount, I would imagine, some partial refund for this drab appearance. You can't expect Mr. Burlington to stay here in such a place. It's a good thing there's barely any connection here. If anyone took a picture of him and put it on social media in one of these places, our stocks would fall dramatically.
Well, why don't you wait until the end of the weekend? And that is generally when we discuss money and settling up and all of those things. So why don't you see how the weekend goes? You'll find that the interior of the rooms exactly matches the photos that are online. And we will see to it that you have a wonderful weekend.
Well, I suppose payment for services rendered and such. This isn't a tipping place, is it? Truly, tipping culture has got. And are the goats going to take our bags to the lodges, or do you have people who do that for you?
Actually, Jerry there is smart enough to do that. Most of them will leave you alone. We've trained him well enough not to bother you.
See Jerry like biting into the handle of a bag.
And I imagine we hopefully have a couple of porters that Bonnie is kind of gesturing towards.
Okay.
A porter or two that's helping out with things.
Okay, so we'll say that the sea level suite starts moving off in the direction of their cabins. They're talking a little bit with your manager, the owner, and maybe we see like middle managers coming up and they look exhausted. And then we can see all the underpaid like people immediately underneath him. Underneath him, there's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 12 people in total that file out of these Suburbans. And the amount of luggage that they bring doesn't seem to align with the amount of people. It seems far heavier. In fact, it's almost like one of the SUVs is almost entirely luggage unto itself. And people start kind of going off in different directions. And all of you kind of feel like the presence in the back of your head, right? Like you hear like as you watch this array of people. And you know that only happens when the entity that you all have sworn yourselves to is hungry. And when there is something or someone that could satiate. So what do you think the three of you would do now that the potential has arrived?
I would say we probably have sort of a shorthand because we know that we frequently sort of need to pick who is who. So I would like to say that maybe we very quickly come up with nicknames. And sort of like as the weekend goes on, we're sort of keeping like a ranking. Like we have like our own little like app that we're, kind of like sending messages back and forth of sort of like who is sort of like leader in the clubhouse of like who needs to be like sacrificed. So I would like to throw out that our nickname for the CEO is Mr. Coat. So that's like our code for him.
Because of the Burlington Code Factory.
Of course.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So mechanically, so let's talk about this for a second. There is like a kind of a mystery or a hunt board kind of mechanic going on. So the goal is for you guys to figure out who your entity would most enjoy devouring effectively. And if you bring the wrong person, you would make your entity very upset. And so one of the ways that we track that in this game is through this like hunt board, this investigation board. And you guys take steps to learn more about them. This could be through conversation, could be through spying on them, could be through following on them, breaking into their rooms, going through their things, whatever it is that you think it might be, can totally work. And then as you roll some tests and start to accrue information, you'll either become convinced this is the right person to feed, or this is very much not, and you'll have to move on to a different target. And so that's kind of how this works. And you can tell just from the giddiness with which the entity seems to be communicating with you that there are multiple targets that they seem to be salivating over. So as the staff starts to break up, some people go off into the different posts and etc. You all can have a moment if you want to like quickly chat before you push forward. So what do you all say to each other?
So Bonnie is saying, okay, and Jeff, real quick, it was the CFO who was asking for the swordfish, right?
Yeah, the CEO wanted Chance Burlington II, not to be confused with Chance Burlington the first. He wanted swordfish. Whitney Cabot did not like goats. And Roosevelt Biddle is upset that the exterior does not match the pictures and wants, and is already angling for a partial refund. He's the CFO.
Okay. So in front of us, we have CEO, Mr. Coat, COO, Ms. Crimson, and CFO, Mr. Cheap. So who do we have in the lead?
I'm pretty
so
sure Ms.
far?
Crimson needs to go.
She didn't like our goats.
Right? And
Unbelievable.
I have my shirt half unbuttoned here. She can see my pectorals. I don't know what she's talking about. There's a more attractive person. She needs to come service her.
You're the most attractive here.
I am a little bit offended. And, I know we're not going to feed somebody we're not supposed to feed. But, I think she's got to go either way.
That is quite the possibility. Mr. Coach, I could definitely see it's who comes to the middle of the pines and has a hankering for swordfish. It's ridiculous.
And you know what? I bet also we should circle back around to some of the middle managers, because usually those people are like real frustrated because they're stuck in a spot that they can't move past. And that usually turns them real rotten on the inside,
No, that definitely makes sense. But we'd need to eavesdrop on them a little bit to get a reason for that. And really, what CFO isn't a Mr. Cheap. So, not sure yet, but let's get to it. We've wasted enough time.
All right, then.
Okay.
All right,
So-
Jerry, we're going to Cottage 5. Take this bag here.
And just there he goes, dragging this big old bag.
And I would like to
Cottage
say
Five.
that it is Whitney's garment bag.
Yeah, it's the same color as like the jumpsuit that she was wearing. Yeah. And you can, and it's very heavy. You can tell, like it's extremely heavy, and just dragging it along. You can see that much of the staff, like after they bring your guests over to their various cabins, and you know that like the C-level suite has a cabin, and like the middle managers have a cabin, and then everybody who's underneath them, special assistants and supervisors and things, they have a cabin. And so once the touring is happening, there is like a welcome like a welcome dinner that's being planned. Maybe it's like an outdoors underneath some kind of pavilion, and there's like tiki torches and such that are set up and everything, as the sky is not quite dark yet, but you can see it's getting ready to, the sun is getting ready to set, and there's a little bit of a chill starting to come down. There might be a bonfire planned for the evening and everything, as like the welcome. So you guys are dragging this over. And so you want to like dig into Whitney Cabot a bit. Okay. So you get over to the sea level suite, and we'll say like you hear voices inside, but you do remember seeing, at the very least, you saw like the CEO, Chance Burlington II. You saw him leave. And he always seems to have like 2 or 3 people following him. You're not even sure where they came from exactly. They just, every now and then you look at him and there's 2 or 3 people that are just in a train behind him. And he's constantly trying to use his phone. And when that phone doesn't work, he just hands it back to one of the people who's trailing him, and he grabs a different one and tries that one. And he has left. And then as you look around, you can notice that like there is Roosevelt Biddle. And he is just sort of touring the grounds by himself and just appraising each of the buildings. And then you see him snapping various pictures here and there. And would you guys like wait to go inside the cabin until you get a sense of where Miss Cabot is, or would you just go inside?
Yeah, we'll go in. I'll offer him like a welcoming drink.
Okay.
They're staying for the weekend.
So you go inside, and these are beautiful cabins on the inside, and they're quite spacious. They're like these huge suites. So everyone's got like a big separate room, and there's like the center suite. So like each of the executives has their own bedroom. There's probably like a second story to this one, and that might be where Chance is. And then Roosevelt and Whitney are on like the first floor. There's like this big central living space. And you kind of hear the voices now, and it sounds like her voice. And you go in, and she like peeks out from her room, and she says, "Did you just bring the goat in here? Get that thing out of here. It's filthy. It's going to bring ticks inside."
Go on, Jerry. Wait outside.
Meh. And he turns around and steps outside and waits.
We've come to welcome you. Drinks.
I wasn't. Oh, drinks. Okay.
And hors d'oeuvres.
Yes. Ooh. Well, don't mind if I do. And you see her like kind of shuffle over towards you. She has already changed, and she is now wearing what looks to be like this golden jumpsuit, and with some of these. Like these big heavy like chains that are coming down, these big like necklaces and pearls and stuff like that, as she has already changed a bit. And she looks like she has like her she has her nails done in like a very elaborate way with like little designs and things. And you can tell that one of like her pinky finger has a little bit of dust on it of some kind. But she says, "And so what are we serving?"
Got a special mix here. Warm goat milk. Bit of ashwagandha.
But is that sort of like a fuzzy navel? Or are you being literal?
Oh, it's a bit of a fungus we grow here on site.
Oh! You're going to give me a fungus!
Arthur.
Oh! What is your name? So that when I fill out the whatever your feedback card is, I can make sure that I have the name of the person who ruined my entire evening by suggesting I should eat fungus. And you can see she's like holding back.
So then I assume you don't want these, and she has like an hors d'oeuvre that's like a mushroom, like mini.
I'll have a mushroom,
quiche.
of course, but yeah, like, and she'll grab that. Like, oh, yes, mushrooms are delicious.
Oh, you didn't. You said you didn't like fungus. I was just.
Of course I don't. That sounds disgusting.
Mushrooms are fungi.
Don't be ridiculous. Now, what are we washing it down with? Is there? Do you have a bar? We're looking for a bar, and we could not find one in here. What kind of place doesn't have a bar? This is the executive suite, is it
you
not?
know how it is, ma'am. These people, they try to talk all fancy, but when we have important clients like you, I keep some simple old scotch down there at the sauna, but it's a fine one.
She looks towards you. He's like, well, who is this tall drink of water? Thank you. She looks towards the other two of you. Thank you for replacing whatever that hillbilly, roll in the mud sort of man was. But this is much better. Yes. Scotch. I could drink scotch. Yes.
Well, we'll just get you, once you're comfortable, we'll get you down there and...
Ooh, the voice isn't going to work for me. Could you... something else?
I could. Yes, I can.
Yes. Yes,
All right,
that's
then.
much better.
We're
Do that,
gonna
yes.
take you on down to the sauna, and you're gonna feel much better.
The sauna at this hour? Oh, no, I thought we
Well,
were
you
doing
know,
some sort of
I could
welcome
actually...
dinner. A
could
pig
bring
or
a
something?
Oh,
Could bring a table? Well, how about this? I normally like to have my massages immediately after dinner. It helps when the masseuse makes sure that the food matriculates smoothly through my innards, so that I don't get all bloated and swollen, and I wouldn't want that at all. So,
No, of
how about
course not.
after dinner, you come by with your little table, your clean hands, and your very deep voice, and you give Mama, what's her name again? Mama Whitney, a nice little massage.
of course. I'll take good care of you, Mama Whitney, I promise.
Yes, we'll take good care of each other. And you can see, like, she runs a finger, like, across your jaw a little bit, and then, like, flicks it down your chest. And then
Mason's, like, actually kind of happy with this, because this is the response he was wanting.
Right?
He was deeply insulted earlier.
And now I need to go eat a pig or some such. And she starts walking out at that point. Goat milk. Ooh. Ooh, is the last you heard. And then suddenly you hear, there's another one out here. Oh, it's even more vicious. And she comes startling back inside. Please, do we have a rifle or a gun or something I can shoot this with?
Of course not. This is a no hunting ground. It's all right.
No hunting ground. It's well, Roosevelt is going to be quite upset. He brought his own. I thought he was expecting to shoot something. He likes shooting things. Anyhow, just shoo it away. Give me the milk. Yes, and so she'll take the milk. And then she'll throw the milk into the face of Arthur. And Arthur will just sit there like a good goat and just
Jerry.
have the milk splash in his... Jerry. And just go like... Meh. And now covered with goat milk.
Aw. So does that mean this cottage is now devoid of all of the C-suite? They're all outside or somewhere
You think
else?
so? It certainly seems that
Time
way.
for snooping. Time for snooping.
Well, what do you do then, Bonnie?
So I would say that Bonnie is going to go straight toward Whitney's room to poke around and see what can be seen.
All right, let's do a little roll. And if this is your first time watching We're in Danger is a game where you have 3 attributes and you rank them based on how good you are at them. So your rank 1 attribute, your rank 2, and your rank 3. And then when you try to roll a test, you roll 4d6s. And we look for 5s and 6s to succeed, and we try to avoid a number that is equal or under your rank. For Old Heart, which is the working title of this genre kit, the 3 attributes are depravity, which represents your willingness to do just bad things. Then there's hospitality, which is your willingness to or your ability to maintain appearances and interact with others. And then there's fitness, which is about your like lucidity and your like vitality and your physical capabilities. So it's a little bit about trying to keep your focus, but also how physically fit you actually are as well. So yeah, you want to start going through her things.
I do. So
what do you want to pitch?
The kind of order of mine is depravity 1, hospitality 2, fitness 3. And I would like to say that her sharp fake nails sort of help her poke around things a little bit. I think that makes sense.
Okay, and so what attribute did you want to roll?
Depravity.
What do you? Okay, so because you think you're doing something terrible. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I rolled a 6, a 5, a 5, and a 1.
Okay, that's 3 hits. That's amazing. So the way this is going to work, by the way, I mentioned that there's like a mystery board. And so whenever you take an action and roll a test to try to advance your knowledge of one of the things one of the people, or in some cases creatures that you're investigating, you can spend your hits to advance that specific little clock, so to speak, for that particular thing that you're investigating. So you said 6, 5, 5, and 1.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm assuming you want to cancel out the 1 with one of your hits. Is that correct?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so then you have a 6 and a 5 left, which you can just sort of put towards this little clock. Okay. Yeah, you start going through her things, and you find that she has several changes of clothes that look. She has far more than she should have. She has 2 garment bags. You only saw the one, and she has 2 other bags. One that's more like a roller, and then another that looks to be more like a shoulder bag. And you can see that she has brought at least a half dozen suits, not unlike what she had before. These like kind of like sort of jumpsuit looking things. Some are very colorful, and then there's a few that are like camo colored. And she has accessorized jewelry that she seems to be wearing. And as you're going through her things, you also find in one of the suitcases there is a little secret compartment. And as you pull it out, you realize there are these. It almost looks like bath items, but you saw those in a different suitcase. And as you start to open them up, you realize this powder, that is a whole lot of cocaine. And so you find this big reservoir of cocaine that she seems to have hidden away. But you don't find, there's nothing else in here per se that you would think, something else in here that's particularly suspicious.
Okay, and I would
other
say
than her horrific drug habit.
Yeah. And so Bonnie will kind of get on the walkie, and again, like we've been doing this a lot, we have kind of code, and so she sort of like lets everyone know that like if if they're interested in any coke, this is where to grab some.
I would love somebody pass some along.
Oh, come on. You guys really got to take better care of yourselves. That's going to just ruin you.
Long fake nails, so she shares with Arthur.
So we see the two of you just like taking a couple hits. Okay, fair enough. Do you try your best to put everything back
yes.
the way it was? Okay, including the coke, or do you keep that?
No, I'll put it back. I mean, there's plenty here. We can come back another time and get more.
Okay. So you put it back. What about what is Mason doing, you think, ever since she left?
Well, I think I should go ahead and go get that table and bottle of scotch ready to go so it's all set up in here and kind of have the room laid out in advance. Then, just in case while I'm doing that, I'll look around the room, look to see if maybe there's a good window that, if we do get a feeling she is the one, maybe if there's a spot I could, dump her unconscious form out of a window or something, or, look for a good way of egress.
Well, she is on the first floor, so it's much easier than if you were to try to take down Chance at the second floor. And all of the rooms do have windows. The bigger issue is that that the window itself, it's not so much about getting in or out. That's easy enough to do. It's just it's potentially in line of sight of some of the other cabins, and your manager makes sure that until the very deep recesses of the night, the cabin area is well lit. And so like your challenge is not so much to find the window, but is to kind of move about unseen when if and when it should come to that.
Okay then.
And then what about Arthur?
I'm curious if the CEO's assistant stuck around. He left maybe his phones hanging around, snoop around those.
Okay, yeah. If you go upstairs,
I like that.
you will hear a voice coming through the door that goes into the second story. But it's just one voice, like someone babbling to themselves. And it's along the lines of, I don't get paid enough for this. I don't get paid enough for this. Like, you are a worthwhile person. You are nice enough. You are smart enough. And doggone it, people like you. Just saying it over and over. And
Nice.
you don't recognize the voice, so it doesn't sound like any of the C-level people. So it could be one of their assistants has been stuck back. You do hear like shuffling around, like maybe they're unpacking for chance, something along those lines.
I'll knock on the door frame, introduce myself. Is everything all right?
Yeah, you knock on the door, and you see coming back, and opening the door is a man who is probably late 20s, tall, slender, and you can see kind of has like a dusty, dirty blonde hair, and clean shaven. Looks very tired, and you can smell coffee on his breath. And when you look past him, you can see that he has been unpacking and hanging up various things, like on in certain places here and there. And you also see like there's like this big box of like all sorts of tech toys and things like that. And the person says, "Can I help you? Mr. Burlington has gone along to the welcome dinner."
It's not a problem. Can I help you at all? I mean, it's not just them for this retreat, it's your wellness as well.
Well, it's actually a work weekend for me. I'm not really participating in any of the games and activities and things like that. Mr. Burlington wants to make sure that his needs are taken care of, and his needs are unique. So.
And I can help you in any way that I can. If what he needs, if you tell me, I can get that to him.
And when he leans back, you can see that he has like set up various like monitors on different surfaces, and they all have displays, and each of those displays has a picture of Dr. Burlington and some kind of news story on him, like tech wonderkind and things like that. There's like a Time magazine bio of him, and then there's like a New York Times article on how he's changing the face of finance. And then you can see that there have been actual physical magazines that have been arrayed in various places. Your people didn't do this. That also has various covers of this CEO, and some of them are just multiple copies. He likes to be reminded of his greatness.
Of course, as one should.
Wow.
And you can see he hesitates at that. Right. Yes, of course. This is absolutely normal.
Well, not on that scale. But to each his own.
Yes. is it possible to get some food? I'm specifically not allowed to leave this room until somebody relieves me. No one can ever stay. His room can never be unmanned.
Of course, we'll bring something right away.
Thank you so much. I was not allowed to eat on the way up. He wanted to make sure that we rotate who is eating. He has very specific ideas about, about many things. But really anything would be fine. And water, I haven't hydrated all day.
There should be something in the sweets. I can give you some immediately.
Because I feel like there's a goat behind you that is licking milk off its face.
Sherry, I told you to stay outside. But it's okay. Whitney's gone.
Meh. Was there something you needed? I'm sorry. I'm a little out of sorts.
If there's something Mr. Burlington's interested in, you have any activities, we can prepare them for him.
I heard that tomorrow morning is going to be the fishing expedition. Do you have dynamite? He doesn't use a pole. He prefers dynamite fishing. We didn't really see it addressed online.
Sorry, but that is not something we have. We can make accommodations.
No, that could is there? Do you have the ingredients on hand? I do know the recipe. If you know, for this isn't the first time I've had to make an improvised explosive device for him. So, do you have like a shed or something I can go to later? I can probably find what I need.
We definitely have a work shed. If you can tell me the ingredients, maybe we can supply it for you. We have it laying around.
Yeah, sure, yeah. And he'll kind of write out a list and hand it over to you, and it's just a bunch of things. Wow, that'd be great.
I'll take that and look into it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get to that tonight, so I'm probably not gonna sleep tonight because it needs to be ready for tomorrow. Okay. You've been very helpful. I appreciate it very much.
Of course. Your wellness is your success. Anything we can do.
Is that like a slogan?
That's our motto here at the Five Goats.
Oh, I thought the motto would have something to do with goats. What's with the goat thing, by the way? Why
it's just something goats? For some reason, they're in this area, and we've just come to adopt it as our theme.
I see. Okay, well, I need to get back to work. These pillows aren't going to fluff themselves. And if there's anything else you need, just let me know. I'm Francis, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Francis.
Nice to meet you, too. And then he kind of closes the door at that point. You guys start to hear music from outside, as you know that the luau doesn't really make sense for the pines, so let's say it's a luau. So the luau is fully underway. As you hear random Hawaiian style music, calypso music, whatever, and you hear people like shouting. Definitely, there's some drunk getting on. What else would you like to do in here? As it seems that no one has yet returned, but you would guess that you're at some point. The longer you wait here, the more likely someone's going to come and find you, and it would be kind of odd to find the three of you in here.
Mm-hmm. I would say that Bonnie needs to. She is director of catering, so she does need to go harass the crap out of the catering staff and make sure that they have cooked everything, because of course they couldn't possibly do this without her micromanagement of them throughout the entire process, and she's been away for long enough.
Okay, so we'll say that you head over to the official main cottage cabin, like where all the business is done. There's the kitchen's there. There's maybe some of the offices are there. And when you get inside, you notice that there is a person you don't recognize in the kitchen. It's a woman, again, in her 20s or so. hair is up in this very tight bun. And she is like, you can see, in a heated argument with some of your staff.
Excuse me, who is it that I find in my kitchen?
And she looks at, oh, well, finally, we've been looking for you. I assume you are this Bonnie Palmer, the catering director. My name is Riley. I'm one of Mr. Burlington's assistants. I'm specifically his dietitian assistant. I'm here to make sure that all of the food that goes into his body has been properly prepared. And I must say, this place is a pigsty. When was the last time that you were actually have you ever had a health inspector inside of here at all?
I am both director of catering and a certified health inspector, and I inspect every Monday morning. So 4 days ago was the last inspection. Thank you very much.
And did you have a giant swarm of pig-loving, shit-eating hogs coming through here? Because this place is filthy. It smells absolutely abhorrent. And when was the last time anyone changed the deep fryer oil? And, well, first of all, you're not going to be deep frying anything. Not just for Mr. Burlington, but at all. We don't want any of the fumes to be infiltrating his food. So I've unplugged it already. I've done your job for you.
We could just not use an appliance. This doesn't need to be unplugged. I would thank you to keep your, and she looks down at her shoes, your shit-covered pumps out of my kitchen.
Oh, well, Mr. Burlington is not going to like this at all. Not at all. The last time he ventured out to one of these sorts of venues, do you know what happened to that place after he left? They shut it down. Why? Because he said so. Is that what you would like for the 5 goat lodges? I'm sure that you probably don't have a backup job anywhere. Maybe there's a McDonald's somewhere that needs a fry cook.
Do you have a sheet of paper or something that you can leave with us so that we can get back to our job and don't have to look at your face any longer?
Well, a sheet of paper? I've already given your assistant chefs, who apparently were the only ones doing their job, who knows where you were. They all didn't seem to know. What a very curious thing to have the director of catering, the head chef of this whole place, for the welcome luau to not be here, to just be absent. But no. Me and your assistant chef here, chef, we already went over everything.
Yes, because you sent us an email, and we do actually have the ability to open emails up here in the Pines and read and comprehend them. So we already knew what your instructions were before you decided to walk in here and tell us what they were yet again.
Well, yet again, I will just make sure Mr. Burlington is fully informed as to the attitude that I seem to have faced here when simply trying to make sure that he gets his dietary requirements met. And if that is all, I guess I will return to the luau, and I will let Mr. Burlington know about Mrs. Palmer. I'm sorry, Miss, more than likely. I will let him know how Miss Palmer has everything under control.
Well, yes,
now that she's finally here.
We will let our food speak for itself.
You see, she turns around in a huff and starts walking away.
And she sort of it's one of those swingy doors that she sort of kicks behind her so that it overswings and hits her.
Give me a roll. Give me a fitness roll. Give me a fitness roll. See if you can do this.
Oh, that's a 3.
You have to coordinate this, bro. Do this wrong, you get smacked in the face.
I did it very wrong. I rolled a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 4.
Okay, so let's talk for a second about something you could do now, if you would like. So one of the mechanics in this game is corruption. So you can choose to re-roll some of your hits and misses, but in doing so, you raise your corruption score. whenever you take corruption, you check to see whether or not you manifest some strange mutation or like a physiological or a psychological manifestation of your corruption. And if you start to manifest too many of those, much like wounds, you'll be out of the game. So for each die that you would like to reroll, you basically take a point of corruption. So would you like to try this, Melissa?
Of course I would.
Okay, so how many of those would you like to reroll? All 4?
I mean, one of them was just a miss, but I do have 3 fumbles. So
you can reroll hits and fumbles. So you can reroll whatever you like, but you have to, So how many you do?
3, obviously.
Okay, so you're doing 3. So give us 3d6. Go ahead and roll it.
I'm going to mark down the 3 corruption so I don't forget. And be accused of cheating, as I tend to be accused of. Unfairly, just accused.
I don't think you've ever proven your innocence.
J'accuse.
Much better. So I rolled a 3, which is still a fumble, and a 5 and a 6.
Okay, so you cancel out.
Yep.
You can cancel out the fumble.
Yep.
With a 5, and then the 6 you can commit to succeeding. What would you like to happen to her as you do this?
Door hits her in the ass on the way out.
So the door hits her in the ass, and you hear her yelp and then tumble down to the ground as she falls. But I need you to now roll a manifestation check. So anytime you take corruption, you have to check to see whether the corruption that you just took, because you're actually pulling actively on the energy of your entity. And if you pull too much, or if you pull for the wrong reasons, bad things could happen to you. So go ahead and roll 3d6s, because you roll a number of d6s equal to the amount of corruption you just took. So you take 3 for me.
Oh my gosh, I rolled 3 3s.
Okay, so you're fine. So then what we do is you kind of sum the total. And if you are, as long as you're over your score, as long as you roll higher than whatever your corruption level is, you're okay. If you roll equal or under, then things could potentially go wrong.
I want to see what manifestations come. I'm gonna keep re-rolling stuff.
Okay,
Nice.
let's see. Yeah. Okay, so very good. So the idea is like the intention here is as you do corruption, the system is encouraging you to take more and more corruption each time, and so you're ranking up your score.
Yep.
And if you're only just and so later on, if you only like reroll 1 and you've got like 7 corruption, you're pretty screwed.
Yeah,
So that kind of.
Yep, like it.
Okay,
and then
so
she does turn around just for flavor and just starts tearing into her staff that obviously they haven't done things right and whatever. And so that's where kind of, and that is, she is doing her browbeating as she is wont to do.
Okay. And I think last we saw of Mason, you were going to go get your table to bring back, or is there something else you wanted to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do that. That'll be part of what I spend my time on. And he's looking at the case that you carry the table in, and he's wondering, if he folded her up just right, could he fit her in that case and leave the table there? Yeah, he's kind of, pondering that a little bit. He'll get it set up, and then after he's got that set up, and he's going to kind of get a good look at that, and he's going to try and, picture it in his head whether or not that'll work. But afterwards, he should probably go down to the luau, and, his thought from there is like he's set up, he's got his event with Miss Crimson for after the luau. But in the meanwhile, maybe he can look for some of the middle management folks or something like that, because those folks were all cramped up in together. And so maybe look for somebody who's doing the whole thing, like maybe their neck is hurting after the long drive, or somebody's rubbing their shoulder. He's going to look for somebody who looks kind of out of sorts and use that as an opportunity to come up and help them out and see if maybe they'll do some talking or something.
Yeah, you notice a woman probably in her like mid to late 40s. She is kind of got like this curly, frazzled hair that looks to be kind of flattened a little bit on one side, maybe from leaning on the side of a car. And every now and then, as she's sitting by like the fire, like there's a bonfire, and you can see people are like drinking and such here and there. There's laughter. But she's kind of off by herself, and you can see she's like continuing to sort of fix her shoulder a bit. And when you come up on her, like you notice that there's she's got like her phone out, and she's just kind of like flipping through photos. And if you linger for a second, you see that she kind of flips through, and she's seeing the same photo of the same man like over and over, like this one and the next one. It's not the exact same photo, but it's the same man and kind of different in different situations. What do you do as you approach Mason?
He'll approach, and if it could be allowed, like when I went to go get my stuff moved to the room, he also switched into his like therapist outfit, which is basically just like MC Hammer pants and then just a vest that covers almost nothing.
Okay. Sure, yeah.
So
you could
good.
totally do that. You could totally do that. So you approach, and you can see she like starts for a second, and she like fumbles with the phone and nearly drops it, but kind of catches it. And she goes, oh, you scared me. Sorry.
Oh, hey there.
Oh my.
I'm really sorry about that.
hello.
I just, if you will forgive me, I'm not normally this forward, but you were just such a radiant creature, and it makes me feel terrible to see you. It looks like you're not feeling so well. Did you probably sleep hard on the way here? I know it's a long drive.
I was in the back with some of the luggage, and I had to sit very uncomfortably, and my head was tilted to the side. Yes.
Oh no.
They didn't hear me when they stopped for gas and food, because I was buried too far when I called for help. So I was stuck inside of a suitcase fort in the back of a far too large SUV.
Well, I have to tell you, that's the most terrible thing I've ever heard. My name's Mason, but I have to insist I know what your name is, you lovely creature.
My name is Sally. It's nice to meet you, Mason. Yes.
Well, Miss Sally, if you will allow me, I am an expert on helping out matters such as this. Don't mind me laying hands for just a second. I think I could help you out a little bit.
Well, you're a masseuse?
Oh, yes, ma'am, and a chiropractor. I can take care of what ails you.
Well, yes, that would be very nice. And you can see she feels a little, like, you can definitely tell like her face is a little reddened. You're not sure if it's by surprise or what exactly. But she, like, you could definitely tell she hesitates, but then eventually she relents once you confirm that you are indeed a licensed masseuse.
One thing I'm going to put out there right in front: the mind and the body, they link together. So sometimes you got to have your headspace right before the rest of you gets out there. I think whoever this fella is, if you'll forgive me, I think you need just to ignore that fella for a little bit.
Oh, that's Teddy. Teddy is, he was my husband.
Well, it seems to me Teddy's a damn fool of a man to let you go.
Well, he didn't let me go so much as he died. Well, it's been a few years now, and you're right. I really shouldn't be. We're having fun. There's a luau, and I'm.
Okay. You know what? I put my foot just all the way in my mouth there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and help you. And if you've got anything that's been weighing on you, just let it out. Just like word soup, vomit all that negativity out. I'm going to make you feel better. I'm going to work on the outside. You spit out everything that's in the inside. Whatever's pestering you, you just let it out. They're all dancing. Don't worry about anybody listening in. They got the music playing. They're dancing. Those yahoos aren't paying attention. We already know that. Right now, this is all about you.
You could tell again, she's like very hesitant when especially when you start talking about like just letting it all out, just spew it all out, etc. And she's like, you can tell she's not sure she likes it. But then you start pointing out the idiots that are drinking and dancing, and then she kind of smiles and laughs at that. Do you want to give us a roll for your magic fingers?
I'm legitimately going to do that.
Okay, I love this.
My specialty, because I'm a chiropractor, is actually joint manipulation. He is legitimately going to, and he actually feels for her, and actually he's legitimately going to be trying to help her because he's like only like 75% a monster, so he'll actually try and help her feel better.
Is fitness your best stat?
Go for fitness is my best stat
for sure. And
then he'll maybe like, okay, so what I'm going to do here while I'm doing this, it's going to feel a little warm, and it might feel uncomfortable at first, but I'm just going to put the stone right here where I see you're I can see your muscles are tension. That's going to help loosen it up. So he's going to he's got like one of those little heating stone things he's going to put on her shoulder. And he's going to do the thing where he like pulls the shirt just a little bit to the side so he can like kind of put it on her shoulder.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell like there's like a stiffening of her like a bit as she feels a little again. But again, she relents a little bit. Again, cause you're a licensed masseuse.
Of course.
Okay, go for it. I'm going to tell you this, that the more successes, the more hits you get on this, the better. So if it's just one, but if it's 4 or 5, like something magnificent could happen.
Okay, so I've got a 2, 4, a 5, and a 5. I'll use my hot stone to turn the 4 into another 5. So that's 3 5s. And
would you like to maybe
joint manipulation?
Okay.
So that's 4. I'm happy with 4.
Okay, that's plenty. Okay. You
just let it all out, Sally.
At first you know, she's very reluctant. And her complaints are about her coworkers. She says a lot of things about her coworkers, this, CEO that. But then, like, as you're like really getting in, she starts talking about Teddy. And she starts talking about the other women. She starts talking about how Teddy never respected her. And how he fucking respects her now, doesn't she? Yeah, whatever that son of a bitch is, burning in hell. He's and like, and you realize like she is in this like this state of zen, and she is admitting to having murdered her husband. And then she like comes out of it like a fugue state. She's like, oh, I feel like a new woman. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I can move my arm. Wow. What were we talking about? I just kind of went into a zone or something. Well,
you know, like I said, great. The mind and the body link up, and you've got yourself a real wonderful balance there, Sally. I wish I could work with people like you every day.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're interested, I'm sure we could talk Mr. Burlington into maybe having an on-staff masseuse back at the office. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, I haven't felt this good in 20 years.
I mean, I do love it here.
The burden has been lifted.
Well, I mean, if that's not too... I mean, Mr. Burlington wouldn't be interested in the likes of me. You know, I'm nothing special. But I mean, if you think he'd be willing to see me,
Well, he doesn't like to be touched, per se.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, but he does like to watch masseuses massage other people, and through that seems to find his relaxation. And then she's got this like devilish grin, and I hear that's not the only thing he likes to watch.
Oh, I've had to cater to some special clients. I'm not proud of it, but I understand.
I feel great. Goodness. And yeah, you're fairly certain she does not remember anything she just said.
All right. Well, Sally, this is just the beginning of your weekend. I hope you make the best of your time here, and I'm so happy we met.
Wow. Thank you, Mason. And she's like, I don't have my wallet on me, so I can.
No, I insist. You spoke to my heart, and I did what needed doing.
And she smiles, and will say, like, you go your different ways. You see, she like wanders off into the party at this point. But you do feel like a tingling in the back of your head as she walks away, and maybe as you're walking away, like the flickering of the fire, you see like eyes just begin to form in some of the flames as you look across and over it at her as she wanders away.
Okay. Is she like a big lady, or is she kind of a tiny lady? I.e., how likely could she fit in my table carrier?
She is not the toothpick that Whitney Cabot is. She's much more kind of normal body size, middling body size.
That's okay. Nobody's going to care where she goes walking off to.
What about Arthur? Is Arthur up to anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna snoop around, or maybe first learn about this dynamite recipe if that's even possible to make, and then snoop around for this gun that the Roosevelt brought in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll say Jeff doesn't know the recipe, but we'll say there is a list of things that you probably have access to. Yes. Maybe one of these things or two of these things you might have to go down to the town. You might have to like take a ride down to the town. There's like a little mountain town that you might have to go get some extra resources, but like most of it seems to be stuff that you can easily get. If you want to search around, and Mr. Biddles, go ahead and give me a roll. How would you like to go about searching through his things?
My depravity is pretty bad. Trying to think how hospitality could work. Right.
Well, how would you flavor it? Like, how do you flavor going through someone's things as being an act of hospitality?
How about like laying out?
If you're good at hospitality, you would know how to put everything back so that they can't tell.
Right. So like I'm like laying out his things, making sure they're ready to go. He doesn't have to do it himself. Try to like prepare his room for him.
All right, let's do it. Yeah. Okay.
What are your items and stuff?
My item is Jerry.
Is Jerry helping you?
Can Jerry help me with this?
What's your other item?
Rugs for inappropriate, because my specialty is medicine. So it's like various supplements sort of thing.
Oh,
nice. I love
rugs.
it.
I thought you said rugs, and I was like, what?
I did too. And I'm like, huh?
I thought I heard rugs too.
All right.
He stores his
give me that
drugs
hospitality.
in rug.
Yeah, clearly.
All right, I was able to get 1-6, no fumbles.
Nice.
Okay. You're just specifically looking for his gun, right? Or are you just like generally going through everything?
I'm more of going through his things, seeing what kind of man he is.
I will say kind of similar to what I said to Jeremy. The more hits you get, the more you might discover. So if you wanted to, you could potentially take some corruption to re-roll a few of your dice to see if you get extra hits. It's up to you. You don't have to. You'll get your thing. You'll be able to get something with just the one for sure. But like you can scale it more if you wanted.
Yeah, I want to re-roll to make it better.
Okay.
1 corruption per re-roll, so I'll just do 3.
Yes.
Might as well.
Awesome.
Okay, so if they turn into fumbles, is that bad?
They still count as fumbles, yeah. So if you do that, for sure.
I ended up getting 2 fumbles.
Okay. So and what was the third? What did the third die look like?
I was a 2, so it was neutral.
Okay.
Or miss.
Well, so you can keep spending corruption, by the way, to continue to reroll. So if you wanted to spend more corruption and more corruption and more, like I have no problem with it, but we would first have to do, because this was one instance, because you just took 3 corruption, I need you to roll 3 d6s.
Just don't roll
as long as you roll
3 ones.
4 or higher in total, you're okay.
You got
Rolls
this.
11. Should be fine.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, you're fine. So you can choose to just take the roll, or you can keep pushing. You can keep spending if you wanted to. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, let's test the limits. Just keep rolling.
All right.
This is a perfect game for him because he'll do.
Yeah,
it.
this is okay.
Absolutely.
I'll re-roll the 2
Right.
fumbles I got. They came out hits.
Hey!
Okay, awesome. So you took 2 more corruption, so you're up to 5, and I need you to roll 2 d6s. And now you want to roll a 6 or higher in total.
7.
Okay, so you're
Ooh.
okay still, but you are feeling maybe a little sickly as like you're kind of tapping in, and maybe it's like you can't find, like you're searching and like you're just not finding anything and not finding anything. And then that's when you start to notice, like on the floorboards of this room, one of the whorls, like in the wood, starts to grow and look more like an eye. And you reach down and you kind of pry up that floorboard. And you can see that there is something underneath it. It's just like that has been recently stashed here. And it looks to be something that the occupant of this room has stashed there. So you, when you pull this out, you find, first of all, that there is like a gun in here. But then you also see that there is like this, some kind of propellant in here, some kind of liquid, like you sniff it. Oh, you're not sure if it's like a kerosene. It's like this decently sized can of some kind of flammable liquid. And you also notice that there are what looks like some kind of what are those things called? Zip ties. There's a handful of those as well, and they all are like kind of tucked together in this like duffel bag that has been hidden underneath. So a gun, some propellant, a lighter, and some zip ties.
In a duffel bag.
Yeah, I'll try and sneak this duffel bag out. This could prove useful.
Yeah. Okay, so that was a total of 3 hits, right?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So you sneak that out, and that's fine. And we'll say a little while later, as maybe Bonnie is coming out to serve like a dessert with some of her staff. And this is about the time in which Arthur leaves with Jerry and the duffel bag. And when we also see coming back from the bonfire away from the pavilion, we can see Mason coming back after having spoke with Sally. And the three of you are able to once more have a brief moment in the midst of this party with, a dozen or more people drinking and dancing and weird music, you overhear some very strange music. It doesn't even sound like music. It just sounds like someone hollowed out a gourd and is like hitting the side of a gourd. And you overhear that this is Mr. Burlington's band, and that him and his fraternity brothers released this when they were at college.
Oh my God.
And everyone seems to love it. Absolutely love it. So the three of you have a moment.
Fake applause all around.
Oh yeah. Oh, so there's a frizzy-haired lady over there named Sally. She murdered her husband, and I'm pretty sure our patron would really love to eat her. And I think she took a shine to me. If we find a good time, maybe I could invite her down to do a soak,
That's right, we'll need someone tonight. I've learned of Burlington a bit, speak to his assistant, snooping around the rooms. Got a weird self-infatuation about himself.
Oh yeah, Sally there said he likes to watch, if you know what I mean.
I think we
he
do know what
doesn't
you
like
mean.
to be touched, though.
So he likes to look at pictures of himself and watch other people. And interesting. The dietitian is a lot, but fairly boring and what you might expect. Not sacrifice material, I don't think.
I mean, when the asshole asked for swordfish when he came up to the Alpines, you know what you're gonna get.
As expected. But you don't come in my kitchen and tell me what to do.
Oh no, I hope you gave him a good boot in the ass.
I did, in fact. And I'd like to think she's especially oiled that door so it swings more quickly than people would expect. So the door often hits people in the ass on the way out. Okay, so Sally's top of the list.
Yeah. I think I feel comfortable we can get her, but I feel like that's probably going to be an appeasement, but not enough to satiate, if you know what I mean.
The hors d'oeuvre, as it were.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you want to go about isolating her? Because one of the things you have to do, and you have to get her, but then you have to deliver her without obviously being seen. Because if you're seen by normal people, and while not necessarily normal people, but people who aren't corrupted like you are, that could result in trouble. Discovery, law enforcement, all that kind of stuff. So you definitely don't just want to walk up to her in front of everybody, conquer over there, and drive her away. So how do you guys want to go about trying to apprehend this murder?
So I've kind of already obligated myself to go deal with Miss Crimson here in just a little bit. But maybe if one of you feels comfortable, you could tell her that I specially requested to do an early morning session with her before breakfast or something, and then she and I can go off, and I'll invite her down to the hot springs there.
I was thinking we may want to get this done tonight.
Okay.
I think we should probably make sure that there's at least a little feeding before morning comes.
Oh, goodness me. Well, that's just egg on my face then for scheduling the thing with Miss Crimson.
It's fine.
I could try and catch her afterwards. I think I could wear out Miss Crimson pretty quick.
Well, I do think, though, we could even just... You felt like you had a good connection with Sally?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she seemed real happy. Yeah.
Happy enough that she might agree to a nightcap with you?
Oh, yeah, I think so, maybe.
So maybe we just leave her a note that you've invited her for a nightcap in the hot spring.
Oh, Bonnie, you're a smart one. I respect the heck out of you. That's a great idea.
And Bonnie will look to Arthur. We've got this, right?
Of course. She'll be unaware.
You do what you need with Miss Crimson.
I know sometimes, Arthur, you've got the fun. I don't partake, of course, but if you've got something, that, God, I feel terrible saying this, but we're playing bad people. Something that'll make her drowsy whenever we do the drinking,
Of course, I can supply a muscle relaxant.
Oh, you're so reliable, Arthur. And that Jerry, just don't let Jerry hear anything that Miss Crimson was saying. He's a real champ.
He can handle it.
I'd like to think that Jerry is actually a speaking in understanding, part of the
whatever
is happening here. We have talking.
Maybe all the goats are.
Goats, yes. Like the founders of this place or something that have turned into goats or something.
At the end of the witch. Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna seed this notion that Sally, that Mason wants to meet her down, has something special to show her.
Maybe Mason writes a note, basically, that we kind of slip to her the course of the night, that Mason would like to meet with her.
And Mason is going to, and so the two of you are then going to be waiting.
Yep.
And then is Mason going to be waiting with you, or is Mason going to go and take care of Miss Cabot?
I had already set the thing with Miss Cabot, so I don't want to throw things askew.
Okay. So we'll just cut to then the hot spring, and we can see the dark caves. There's maybe a little moon and starlight trickling down to the edge, but otherwise out on the exterior where maybe some of the springs start, we can see a little bit of light. But then once you get into the cave, it is darkness, and then there is maybe a special route that goes down towards your entity, and we can see a lone figure is wandering along the sides of one of the pools. And she's got a little flashlight, and she's just Mason, Mason, don't be coy now. All sorts of young men have these kinds of, what is this? Am I a cougar now? Well, we are in the mountains. And she's calling out and looking around. Where are the two of you hiding, and what do you do?
I would like to say that is there somewhere that's sort of like a rock shelf that's sort of in sort of this cave that Bonnie can sort of be like perched up on?
Okay. Yeah.
Because what I would like to say is she has these sharp fake nails. So basically she would like jump kind of off of this perch and just try to like
so you just
the nails right into
you
the
see
neck.
her getting close. You see her getting close to the edge. She's like, don't tell me you're in the cave. Oh goodness. Sally, you're being ridiculous. He wasn't that good looking. And then that's when we see you spring. Okay.
Yes.
We're in confrontation. So
She
go ahead
deserves to
and
die. How dare she?
I don't feel guilty anymore. She insulted my appearance. Roll a test here. Put together a pool as you go to attack.
Okay, so I've got depravity, which is rank 1, and then I've got my sharp fake nails, which is my inappropriate item.
Got it. Okay.
That is a 3, a 3, and a 4, and a 4, which is a just all misses.
Would you like to take some corruption to perhaps re-roll a little bit of that?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I'm gonna take 4, and I'm gonna re-roll all of them.
Holy
Wow.
crap. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. All right. That's a 1, a 5, a 5, and a 6.
Okay. So you can cancel out that one with the 5, and you have 2 6s left. Fantastic. You leap down, as you said, and you bury these nails into her neck, and she goes tumbling. The flashlight will go rolling off to the side and spinning around, and she like screams out, "What? Ah! And then you can feel your nails dig down into her neck, and you can feel blood start to pour out, and then you start to feel that she's struggling and fighting back. I need you to roll a manifestation check first. You just took 4, so roll 46.
A little bit of housekeeping. I had used an inappropriate item, so I'm actually going to use that to turn the 1 into a 2, so that I actually have just 3 hits.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Okay,
but I did just re-roll 4, so I'm going to re-roll 4 die, and so I need to with the 4, I need to get over a 7. I can do math.
okay.
Yeah, just barely 9.
Okay, so you're still you. You haven't yet. The entity has not yet manifested on you anywhere. However, she rolls around and she's like, "You fucking bitch." And you see a flash of light reflect off a metal blade that she pulls out from maybe her bag, as she has a knife on her, like a little switchblade, and then she's going to try to jam it into you. She's a murderer, so she's prepared for these things.
Yes!
Mason, you didn't
Sally.
mention she had a knife.
Other than you insulted my appearance and you deserve this.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
And you can tell that the knife blade doesn't look like it's been cleaned recently. It's definitely tarnished.
Oh,
Kind of-
yes.
There's like
Still
old
filthy
blood.
with her ex-husband's
Yeah.
blood.
Oh my
I
God, she
love
kept
it
that for
so much.
years.
Yes.
I need you to roll a fitness test, as this is what's called a blight attack, actually. This is another way you can get corruption.
God. I love Sally so much.
We're going to miss her.
I am going to miss her.
I'm going to use
She was great.
my fitness and these like long, sharp fake nails to try to kind of like disarm her with this knife.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, that's a 1, a 1, a 6, and a 6.
Okay. So you can pass and then cancel and then take a strain or roll some corruption.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am going to get my corruption up
Reroll the
to
two
a
ones.
9. I'm going to reroll the 2 1s.
Okay. I like this.
And get a 1 and a 4. So that means that I'll cancel the 1 fumble, and then I will still have a hit left.
Okay.
No, actually,
you
I
have
don't
one
need
hit
to.
left.
Hold on. I've got my sharp fake nails, but they're not going to help. So, yeah, just the 1.
Okay. So you've got. Well, no, I mean you rolled a 4. You said, right?
Oh, right. So I can turn the 4 into a 5.
Your nails can turn the 4 into a 5.
That's right. So I have
that
2.
5 can cancel that 1.
2 hits.
You still got 2 hits,
Nice.
which you can use to knock that knife out of her hand.
Yes.
So 1 will pass, and then you can contribute 1 towards her threshold. However, I do need you to roll 2d6s for your manifestation check.
And
you
get
need to
over a
roll,
9.
You need to get over a 9. So you have to roll pretty high at this point.
Oh, I rolled an 8.
Okay. Describe you are in close proximity to this entity that has gifted you all with powers and perception and tasks that are necessary. And all of you believe that you are doing righteous things, that you are ridding the world of evil. And this is a murderer, so it makes perfect sense. Nonetheless, how does this entity's power begin to manifest on you in some way? It could be something physical, it could be something psychological, but it has to be something that is very noticeable. So if it's psychological, it has to be a noticeable change to your behavior. If it's physical, it has to be something that a person could see. So it's not like, oh, I get 3 or 4 little scales on my back, which no one ever sees. It would be on your face. So something like that. So what do you think?
I am going to say that the irises of her eyes turn red.
Ooh.
Okay. So the irises start to turn red, and Sally, she's scrambling away from you, and she's trying to get to the knife, and then she looks back right as the flashlight like swings past your face. What the fuck are you? And now we're gonna go over towards what does Arthur do? Where has he been hiding, and how does he join into this fight?
Get him, Arthur.
I fall out of tree pose. And come targeting her with
Oh goodness gracious,
some
dude.
goat tranquilizer.
Okay. All right. Phenomenal.
Get him, Jerry. And he'll come headbutting her in the legs, the ankles too, to help.
Just a shadow
nice.
flies
Very
through the
nice.
night, lands on the ground, and charges right at her ankles. Okay.
Get him, Jerry. I highly endorse this goat sidekick.
He's the best. I come out of tree pose. Oh my god. He was just blending in the tree pose.
Right?
She didn't notice him. He was right there the whole time. She thought he was a sapling.
Let's see, I got 1 hit. Jerry gives me +1. Make it 2 hits.
He gives you +1 to a die.
Right, so it'll be
So-
4 to 5.
Okay, perfect.
Mm.
Okay, and what are your
Okay.
other dice?
It's like 2 and 3, so got nothing.
Okay. And what did you roll?
this
Fitness?
that's fitness, sorry. So I'll make the fumble into a miss instead. So
Okay.
2 to 3.
So you just got the 1 hit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So that's going to be all right. That's actually going to be good enough. Yeah, because of all the good work that Bonnie did. So she is like taken aback by these red eyes, and she's panicked. And then all of a sudden, what we thought was this shadowy tree starts to move, and she doesn't notice it. And then this other shadow comes racing across the ground, smashes into her. She's like, ah! And she rolls, and then you stab her with this concoction that you have in the needle. And she reaches out once more for that tarnished knife, but can't get it as she goes limp. And you guys now have her. And by the way, when you don't have to necessarily deposit these things, these feedings. They don't have to necessarily be alive, though some entities prefer them that way. Okay. So what do you guys do now? The two of you.
Pick her up, take her down further into the cave, feed her to the spring.
So we see the two of you. Maybe one of you takes the arms, one of you takes the legs. And maybe we see like Jerry is like leading the way. And we get down to the same room in which we were in at the start of this scenario. And we hear again the and we can see like the reflection off of these glistening rock walls and the steam coming up from some of the from some of the pools here that's kind of creating a mist. And through that mist, again, we can see these eyes, not unlike the eyes that we now see on Bonnie. And you lay Sally's body in one of these shallower pools and then start to back away, maybe genuflecting a little bit as you do, perhaps. And then something comes out of the mist. You can see these like tendrils come out of the mist. And as they do, there's all these little eyes on them here and there that are opening up and looking around frantically. And they just very carefully like cradle the body and just pull it back into the mist. And the two of you feel this sudden warmth go through you in this utter confidence that what you just did saved lives. Everything you did was righteous, was noble, was necessary. And then there's like the sickening sounds of like crunching and tearing and ripping, and you know it's time to probably leave.
We give each other a self-satisfied head nod.
Well
Give Jerry a little kind of like a scratch on the head.
And yeah, Jerry will, and then the three of you will begin walking back out. We'll cut to the cabin for the sea level suite. And are you setting up the table in anticipation of her arrival, or are you like waiting outside? Yeah. Okay. So we see
there'll be the scotch already poured and everything, candles already lit.
And she's coming in, and you can tell she's a little tipsy. And she's like moving around here and there. You hear the voices of other people who seem to come back with her. And she pushes open the door, and she's got a glass of something in her hand. And she's like, "Oh, no, not you. The other one. The attractive one. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh. Well, at least you bought booze. Good. Where is your partner?"
Oh, my partner's already laid to rest, and he'll just kind of like take out like a little whip and just kind of like let it lay over his shoulder. That's my inappropriate item. I assure you, you will be happy of my services.
Give me a depravity roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeremy's like, gladly.
I'm so terrible. Okay, so I'll be using my whip. My depravity is actually not my best stat, but it's fine. Oh, okay. So that's a 6 and a 5. Those are good. The 1 and the 3 are not good. I can use my whip to turn the 3 into a 4, so it's not a fumble. And I'm going to take a corruption to reroll my 1.
Okay, awesome.
Is this your first corruption?
This is and I rolled another 6. Okay, so that's 3 successes.
Okay, fantastic. So you can see her eyes go wide, her eyebrows raise halfway up into her forehead. Okay, you can stay. And then she like starts to close the door behind her. I do, however, need you to roll a manifestation check. Okay. Don't roll 1. As long as you don't roll 1, you're okay.
Okay.
That was close. That was very close. Okay. And so she starts to like disrobe and peel herself out of her jumpsuit, probably away from your eyes. And you do the robe thing, or a towel thing, and then she'll lay down. And you can tell like she is like she smells like she has been sort of tapping into the to the drinks and the food that was at their disposal at the dinner. But she's aware, and she's there, and she's like babbling a bit just about the food itself and how you need to smooth it out. You need to escort it out of her bowels, is what she's saying. It's just a very weird thing. You need to. That is what you get out of this genre kit. Bizarre shit like this. Oh goodness. And you can so you can go to work and do your job. Is there anything in addition to just doing your normal job, which you do not have to necessarily roll for, but is there anything else that you're trying to like glean from this? Are you trying to get her to talk about something? Are you trying to like maybe look around the room a bit? Like, what do you think you're doing?
I think God help me, he's going to engage in whatever weird kink she has. She seemed to respond well to the whip. So at one point, he's going to do the thing where he'll like wrap the end of the whip around her neck and kind of be like having that over his shoulder, kind of pulling on it, while he then starts working to push towards the lower extremity, which she seems to have been. Okay. And he's going to facilitate her kink and much like with Sally, like lead into what she's talking about and see if that'll get her to, all right, just, it's time to let it all out. Everything.
Okay. Go ahead and so since you're trying to maybe get her to confess something similar to Sally, give me a roll for something.
God bless it. So I'll go fitness because I'm doing the chiropractor, whip, and maybe joint manipulation because he's trying to think of ways that maybe if he can crack certain things in certain way, maybe that will help push.
Still trying to get her to talk about things. Like that's more of the goal.
I'm trying to get her to spew from both ends, and I can't wait to kill her. God, I hate this so much. I feel dirty.
You're the one who was a masseuse.
I know.
You picked it. What did you think?
Okay, 5, 5, 6, 3. 3 doesn't do anything. Good. That'll still get me to a 4. Or to a total 4.
So you have 3 hits, right?
4.
4.
Because of the expertise.
Because of the expertise. And unfortunately, I think it does require like a very terrible result. Like just because I feel I deserve that horrible ending.
She unlike Sally, does not seem to admit to murder. In fact, as she begins to babble, she starts to babble about how difficult work is and how her role is so hard. She's just trying to keep the business together. There is like this nepotism CEO who thinks he is God's gift to everything. And if he didn't have his army of assistants, wouldn't know where the bathroom was, let alone how to freaking unzip his pants to piss into a urinal. And so she just rants about him for a while. And then she talks about Roosevelt Biddle and how he is just the creepiest of creep, and how in his office in the middle of the city, he has displayed on his walls various kills because he fancies himself a hunter of some kind. And she's talking and rambling about how the company is in much dire straits than people realize, how the finances are just out of order, and how like if we don't get to the bottom of this soon, then we could go under. And she's just like, it's all just her venting her frustrations. Nothing that comes out of her, out of her admission suggests that she is anything but a hardworking, albeit peculiar, woman who is very frustrated by her role in the company. You do not get that strange tingle that comes into the back of your head when you seem to have struck something. And also there is a lot of flatulence as you go through the process of escorting the food.
Okay,
you
just let it all out, you blessed creature.
And she does. Yes, very much. It's surprising how small and petite she is, and yet how loud and vociferous her flatulence is.
Mm-hmm. I am partaking your magnificence.
But she did, however, rant a lot about the other two. But you definitely get the sense that this is not the one that you have been sent to take out.
Since I guess I don't need to be killing her, I'll try to work her to completion until hopefully she falls asleep. I'll tuck her in, and I'll just put the table back into the case instead of her mangled corpse. And I'll sigh heavily and just admit that I don't need to kill her.
And before you leave, like she'll give you like $100 tip. Even though you get paid, she'll just give you $100 tip, like as if it's nothing.
Ma'am, I have to decline.
What? Decline what?
No, I'm sorry. You misplaced this. You're a divine creature, and I cannot take this from you.
You are not a pretty man, and you are not a bright man. The very least I can do is make you a somewhat wealthy man. And she will tuck the $100 bill in like because you've got like the hammer shirt on, right in the V part where the hammer shirt comes in, and just lets it fall.
He'll like, tap her, like do like a little thing, and just as he's walking, he's like, "You don't know how close you came to getting murdered tonight. You're not that attractive. I could kill you if I wanted to kill you, you stupid."
Does Mason get on the walkie to Bonnie and Arthur?
He does. And
so
he's such a whiny little
and
bitch.
Angry.
He gets to a spot where it's quiet, and he just whines and vents for like 20 minutes solid. He's such a whiny little bastard.
Oh, things went just perfectly well on our end. I did my hide up on the ledge, and Arthur did his tree pose and took her completely by surprise. It was quick and easy.
Well, I'm glad you all get it. Why am I still talking like this? That stupid. Why am I don't need to satisfy her anymore.
Do you let your hometown shine through, Mason?
I appreciate that, Bonnie. I really do. I respect the heck out of you. You and Arthur just are real professionals, and I'm just over here I'm doing my best. But I'm grateful you all got what needed doing done.
You never know. You could have taken her out all by yourself had she been the right one, and that would have been you.
We wouldn't have known without you, Jeremy or Mason.
Oh, that's my partner. Yeah.
He's the good-looking one.
He's the good-looking one. I keep him zipped up in the closet. He's got an IV tube and everything. I only let him out for special occasions. Thank you too, Arthur.
We'll say the night progresses. We see the skies get a little cloudy. Maybe a little rain starts coming down. Everyone kind of retreats to their cabins at a certain point. You all as well, maybe. And you're feeling better about yourselves. You're feeling that you've done good works. Though one of you is struggling at this point, which is, as we know, Bonnie, who I'm assuming you're wearing sunglasses at night as your irises have turned red, and maybe you're covering them up as you're making it back toward like the employee barracks and cabins and things. You hear like strange noises in the night. sounds of like a distant scream that maybe if you guys are in different cabins, maybe you're wondering if the other is responsible for it. And in the morning, as everyone's doing their head count and getting ready in the early dawn hours to go do the fish and fry, which is the morning is spent out on Credence Lake where everyone's fishing. And then at lunchtime, they come back for a cooking lesson with Red-Eye Bonnie, and they cook the very things that they carry. Apparently, the head count seems to be missing. Not just one person, though, as you realize there are 3 people missing. But the 3 of you are only aware of the one that is missing, and that is Sally. But we're going to end it there, and we're going to, we'll pick up on this again, and we'll kind of finish it up. But that's...
I like this.
Yeah.
It's so depraved.
Nice.
Oh,
We're the
It's
best.
Thank you for leaning into it, everybody. That was great, because this is supposed to be like a weird, depraved cultist and like rolling all the corruption and stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've got
goodness.
9 corruption. That's
Oh my goodness.
Fish.
Yeah, you better when you take you have to see, now you have to be careful about taking corruption and only taking like 1 or 2. Like when you go big,
Exactly.
you gotta go big. And like that's the idea of it. So,
Yep.
but we'll see. But yeah, we'll find a time to do a part 2, whether it's next week or week after. We'll figure it out.
you know what I
as you can
wasn't
see, we did
doing?
have Kipser tonight. Yeah.
You know what
What's
I
that?
forgot to do? You're supposed to plus 1d6 per manifestation on depravity tests. So now that I
You
have
haven't
the
rolled
red,
anything since.
now
Yeah.
that I have the
Yeah.
red eyes, I'm going to be able to do that in the future.
Right, but you
Oh,
also
so you-
are minus 1d6 on hospitality
On
tests. So I'm not
hospitality.
sure.
Yep.
I kind of talked over it, but like one of the benefits that you have of manifestations is you actually get to increase your die pool for depravity tests, but you reduce your die pool for hospitality tests. However, manifestations are another way of getting yourself out of the game. If you take 3 of those, you're gone, just like wounds. And my assumption is that like, you know, like as I did some like tests behind the scenes and stuff like that, right? Behind streams, like you're gonna leave the game, like your PCs are gonna leave as much through manifestation and probably more frequently through manifestations than they are through like traditional wounds. Like you're gonna go, I don't like to say go crazy because that's not really is. Like you're gonna give yourself over to like the corruption.
You just can't work the lodge anymore. Like
Mhm.
you're just too.
You become
many
one of the new
manifestations.
creatures in the woods
Become
that might
one.
need to get hunted later.
Yeah. Okay. So
Love
yeah,
it.
that's it
Oh
for
my
us.
gosh.
Okay. So We're in Danger. This is just one flavor. There's tons of flavors. There's slasher flavors, haunted house flavors. There's sci-fi flavors. Like there's all sorts of ways you can play the game. This is the creepy, you're playing bad people, evil cult one, which I thought would be a fun little taste. It's going to be coming up on BackerKit sometime later this year. So check out the link if you're watching this live. Melissa should just drop the link, I think, in Twitch chat. And if you're watching this later or listening to this, look at the description. You can see a link that'll take you to the BackerKit page. Follow it so that when I launch it later this year, you'll be one of the first to notify, and you can come get yourself a print copy of it. The art that you can see on the overlay here is just a little taste of all the awesome stuff that Ian, 3-Eyed Cat, if you know our community, is doing for the game. There is so much good art. It's absurd. I almost feel guilty because I feel like the game isn't as good as the art that is going to be featured in the book for it, but it's pretty amazing. In terms of streams, I think we're up for Saturday. I think we're good for One Ring. Next week we're a little unsure of, so we'll kind of figure that out soon. But I think Saturday we're good for One Ring. But that's it for us. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.